So for now, I'm going to move on to brows for the Korean side. I had an Innisfree brow pencil duo, but I don't know where that is. So I'm going to use the NYX micro brow pencil. This is in the shade Espresso. I also like it because I feel like this has more of a subtle finish, which is, I think, is preferred in Korea, where you have that nice soft brow rather than very super structured angular brow. Also, I feel like the Korean style brow is more on the straighter side, maybe a little bit arched at the end, but not that super like high and angular one. Plus, as you can see, my brows don't really grow at an arch really. Don't mind the fact that they're pretty much messed up, because my brows are just naturally messed up. They're like, you know, when people say, oh, your brows are sisters, not twins. Girl, my brows are, they're not twins, they're not sisters, they're not cousins. Maybe the only thing they have in common is like that they're on my face. But other than that, they're not really related whatsoever. So for the Korean side, I'm pretty much following my natural shape here, and I'm not pressing super hard. As you can see, I'm holding the pencil not close to the tip because I don't want to apply too much pressure so that there's not a lot of pigment that gets deposited on my brows, so that I feel like that gives it a little bit more of a natural finish. It's a good thing that my brows don't really grow at an arch, because the style here I'm going for is more of a straighter brow. Also, there might be a change in lighting because the sun is setting. I need something closer to my face. That mirror is like a week and a half away from me. So I have one brow done. So this is one brow. As you can see, it is pretty straight. I don't know how intense it looks on camera, but it's not that intense. But I'm going to like brush through the hairs just to soften it up a little bit. For this side, I'm going to go in with the Marcel Nano eyebrow liner. This one is in dark brown. So for this one, I'm going to try and do more of an arch. So I don't know if you can see the difference. This one has a little bit more of an arch, and this is also a little bit more straight and not as carved out. This one, I carved it out a little bit at the bottom here with concealer, so I hope you're able to tell the difference. Next, we can move on to eye makeup. I will be priming both my eyelids with the Urban Decay primer potion. We're taking it back with this little throwback right here. Urban Decay primer potion. So I'm going to do a very like basic eye look, in the sense that I'm not going to use like crazy colors. It's just more of like the technique, I guess, that is going to be like the main difference, like application wise. I'm going to start off with a wash of color. Yeah, so I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette because it has the most neutral colors, I would say. So I'm going to start with a wash all over the lid with a fluffy brush. And I'm going to start with a wash of color with a color that pretty much mimics my own skin tone. So I'm going to take, I think I'm going to go with maybe Sienna, which this one. Oof. So pigmented, so pigmented. And I'm placing this all over my eyelid. This will pretty much just serve as a base for the rest of the shadows. A more flatter, still fluffy brush with a deeper color. I'm going to take Mulberry, which is in the this upper corner right here. And this one I'm going to apply it on closer to the lash line. Because the thing is, I feel like with Korean style eyeshadow, they do a kind of like a gradient from like the darkest closer to the lash line, and then lightest on the crease area. And I feel like the Western side, the Western is like style is a little bit of the other way around. You'll see when I get to this side of my face. And I think it just comes down to like suiting their eye shape better, because it adds more definition, I feel like, when you have more like almond shaped eyes or maybe like monolids. This darker one though, I'm going to like bring it a little bit past the lash line. I'm going to like blend it a little bit out. And then with a smaller, denser brush, I'm going to take a deeper color, like a deep brown. And I'm going to focus this in the very outer corner. Everything I feel like needs to look really soft. There's nothing too intense. So I'm really focusing on placing the product and making sure that it's really blended out. Then what I'm going to do is put a little bit of a highlight color right in the middle, like in the center of the eyelid. I think I'm going to take this color, such a pretty color. It's called Sultry. This one right here. Is it out of focus? The color Sultry. This one right here. And I'm putting this only in the very like center of the lid. Again, I'm not going for like a super crazy look. It's just a very like neutral colors, very simple look. I'm going to use the Stila, I think it's called Magnificent Metals liquid eyeshadow, and I'm going to put it on top just a little bit, not a lot, just a very boop boop boop. Not a lot, because this can go from like 0 to 100 like really fast. Now I'm moving on to liner. I'm going to take this dark brown eyeliner. This is from Stila, and it's just in a dark brown liner. Instead of using a black liner, I'm going to use this dark brown, because I feel like it's going to give it's going to add definition without looking like too much. And I'm going to put it like very close to the lash line. I feel like I don't really need to tight line, because my lash line is pretty dark by itself, so I don't really need to do tight lining. So, but I'm still going to stick pretty close to the lash line. And I'm going to wing it out, not too much, just a little bit. And I'm not going really up, doing like a cat eye. I'm more following the natural slant of my eye, going outward rather than upwards. As you can see, it's going more just outward, just kind of like following where my natural lash line would go. And then if I feel like it is a little bit too strong, I'm going to blend it a little bit before it sets completely so that it softens up the line a little. So yeah, very subtle eyeliner, just to add a touch of definition without being too much. So next I'm going to use the NYX Jumbo eye pencil, and this one is in the color Sparkle Leopard. I'm just going to add this in the inner corner of my eye, just to add a touch of, just to illuminate a little bit the inner corner. And I'm going to drag it also a little bit into my lower lash line. So yeah, this is pretty much the Korean style eye look. Moving on to the Western side, I'm going to stick with the same palette, but this time, instead of going with a wash of color all over the lid first, I'm going to use a deeper, the deepest, well not the deepest, but like the deeper color first. This very nice chocolate brown mulberry from the palette, and I'm going to take it on this fluffy brush, and I'm going to blend it into my crease. Making sure that it's nicely blended. And I'm also, not only I'm blending the color like in the crease, but I'm also going to like take it down into a V to join the lash line. So I'm pretty much going in this kind of like crease and then down into a V. Then I'm going to take the same color from before, what was it? I think it was Sienna. I think it was this one. I'm going to put it on the lid where I haven't put the darker one. And then I'm taking Sultry, this one right here. I'm going to take Sultry and putting it over, pretty much going for like a semi-cut crease, very like not subtle, but like a softer version of a semi-cut crease. There you go. I took pretty much the color from the inner corner, a little bit past halfway my eyelid, almost into the outer corner of the eye, but not all the way. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the other side with a smaller, denser brush, and an even deeper color. I'm going to add it in the very outer V, but this one here I'm going to concentrate it even more than on the Korean side, and I'm going to like wing it out also a little bit. And I'm going in with the initial brush, fluffy brush, with no additional color, and just blending everything just to make sure that everything is smooth. I'm low-key tempted to go in with the Stila liquid shadow, but I don't think I'm gonna leave it like this. For eyeliner, I'm using a liquid eyeliner, This is DBH liquid eyeliner. This is so good, honestly. And this one is in black, it's not brown, because I want that much more like stark liner look. I'm gonna do a quick prayer that my eyeliner, I'm not gonna mess it up. So there you have the eyeliner on this side for the western side. And this is the Korean side. I'm going to use the Stila liquid eyeshadow, but for the inner corner instead of for the lid. I'm going to put, wait, no, I was about to put it on the wrong side. I'm going to apply it right in the inner corner with a very tiny pencil brush. Again, I'm going to curl my lashes. Oh, I didn't show it before, but I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. Also, in Western makeup, they like to put like eyeshadow on their lower line, on the lower lash waterline and lash line. On me, I feel like it doesn't really look good, so I don't really put any down there. I focus it on the top. I'm not gonna put on false lashes. I don't really put false lashes on usually, so I'm just gonna like leave it with only mascara on. And hold on, I'm gonna turn on the light because it's getting too dark, I feel like. So now that the eye makeup is done, I'm going to do blush now. This is the western side. And this is the Korean side so far. For blush, I'm going to go with the for the Korean side, I'm going to go in with the Clinique, what's this called? Blushing blush powder blush. Okay. And this one is in the color 103 Mysterious Mocha. It is a pinky blush. It's like a mauvey pink blush and it has a little bit of a like shimmer to it. Oh and since it has more of a luminous finish, I feel like it will suit the whole like glowy theme better. And I'm focusing it mostly on the center and the apples of my cheeks instead of like putting it all the way back like the Western style. So it's not super apparent as a blush, which is good because I feel like Korean style blush is more of a wash of color, whereas it was more of that natural flush. For the Western side, I'm going to use this NYX blush. This one is in the color Crimson. It looks like a very like vivid red in person. In camera, it looks more washed out. In person, is like bright red, but it doesn't apply this bright. So I'm going to apply it in the area between the highlighter and the contour. So there's the blush there. Alright, and now for the last part is the lips. For the Korean side, what I'm going to do is actually take a little bit of the cushion and kind of block out the natural like color of my lips. I'm not taking a lot, just a little bit on a sponge. Since there's a bit of like shimmer, everything is glowy and everything, I'm going to do it more of a matte, more of a matte lip. Maybe just with maybe a touch of gloss in the middle. I'm using the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the color Berlin, and this one is going to pretty much all over the lip. Actually not all over. I'm going to put it mainly in the inner part and then kind of like feathering it out towards the outer part of my lips. And then I'm just putting a touch of a tinted gloss in the middle. I'm going to use again a NYX product. This is the NYX Butter Gloss, and this one is in the color Raspberry Pavlova. It's more of a kind of like a dark berry, not a super dark berry, but it's more of a berry color. But it's a really pretty gloss. This is also really pretty on just bare lips. I'm putting this just in the middle. For the Western side, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty. This one is the Stunna Lip Paint. I'm gonna shake it a little bit. This one is in the color Unveil, and this one is pretty much a nude, a true nude for me. It's a nice creamy nude. I'm not even gonna lip line. And then on top, surprise surprise, Fenty Beauty. This is the Gloss Bomb in the color Fenty Glow. Oh, this gloss is so good. I feel like I will never run out. I've had this for the longest and I feel like it's still like full. It smells so good. And this one I'm going to put pretty much all over the lip, just the Western side. And yeah, this is pretty much the finished look. So this is the Korean side. As you can see, very natural glow. There is definitely a highlight going on, but it's more on the natural side, more focusing on luminosity. And this side has that more of like, it's definitely makeup. Makeup is there, but it's more on the natural side, glowy. And this is the Western side. Definitely more matte, more of a blinding highlight. I'm going in a little bit more with the contour. Eye makeup with the very like intense not intense, but like more, it's definitely more bold, a bolder eyeliner. The brow is a little bit more snatched. So what side do you guys prefer? Do you have a favorite side? If you like to do makeup, what style do you usually do on yourself? Do you do more of a Korean style makeup, or do you do more of a Western style? Definitely let me know all that in the comment section down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think this was actually really fun and really interesting to see like the differences, how makeup can be done in different ways, and at the end of the day, it's just makeup. Yes, sure, like some techniques may like be more prominent in certain like countries, but definitely I feel like in recent years, I feel like in the last like 5 years or something, like Korean style has really crossed overseas to our side, and it's been incorporating more and more into Western culture, I would say. my personal style is kind of like a mix of both Korean and Western beauty. So I kind of like it because my features, they're not definitely not Asian. So I have to kind of like I like to mix and match, if that makes sense. So it just kind of depends on what I'm feeling that day. So yeah, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do consider subscribing to my channel. Yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.